Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about macromolecules. These are important molecules present in all living organisms. As their number says, they are big molecules. And they are carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, of course, and nucleic acids. The examples for these are DNA and RNA. And during today's lesson, we are going to review carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are sugars. They are found in every living organism on Earth and they provide the major source of energy for our daily activities. We know a lot about sugars. I'm going to start by mentioning the simplest carbohydrates that we have. We have glucose and fructose and galactose. As you can see in the pictures, glucose and fructose are found in fruits and vegetables. One of the richest glucose fruits that we know of are grapes. And galactose, of course, is found in dairy products. These simple carbohydrates contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The presentation for the simplest ones are going to be 6 atoms of, 6 atoms of carbon, then 12 of hydrogen, and last 6 of oxygen. There you go. And the structural formula will be this one over here. It's gonna display this ring-like structure. We are able to identify the 6 carbons that the chemical formula is telling us. So we have in here our first carbon number 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course this will be carbon number 6. Again, if you want to double check the amount of hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms, feel free to do it. Now we are going to move from this simple carbohydrate to a little bit more complex carbohydrate. So here we're going to start with these single glucose molecules and we're going to bring a second one. Let's bring this other glucose. Now we have 2 glucose molecules next to each other, and what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to build a bond between these 2 molecules. How this is going to happen, that's what I'm going to show you. These 2 hydroxide groups are going to interact. How? We're going to take this first OH group and this hydrogen group. We're going to take this and we're going to make, of course, what do you think? Hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, that is H2O. So after we put these 2 glucose molecules together, water is going to be released. That's why this reaction is called dehydration synthesis. Da is losing water, so that's why it's called dehydration. So this is how the dehydration synthesis works. We have 2 glucose molecules. They are brought close together, and by the help of enzymes, we will build this new molecule. So in this area, we have the interaction site. That's where the water is coming out. Therefore, the name, dehydration. And we will have a new molecule. The new molecule, in this particular case, having 2 glucose together, is going to be maltose. And this is how we go from one monomer, one single glucose, to a disaccharide, a maltose. It's called disaccharide because it's made out of two monomers, two glucose monomers. What do you think is going to happen if we keep bringing more and more monomers and build a long chain? So now what we will have is a complex carbohydrate. That type of carbohydrate is commonly known as a starch, glycogen, and others. So that's how we prepare to provide energy for all these life processes. We need a way to pile up energy so we can use it. And thanks to dehydration synthesis, we can do that. So we went from one single monomer, glucose, it's a single ring. We use this process of dehydration synthesis to build also simple, but it's a little bit more complex, with two rings. That's a disaccharide, in this case maltose. Hey, maltose is very similar to fructose, to sucrose. That thing that you have on table sugar, that's exactly what it is the combination of two monomers. One is glucose, the other one is fructose. So that's how sucrose is made. Anyways, so we went from the monomer to the disaccharide, and then we can build a polysaccharide with hundreds and hundreds of monomers. That's how we build those complex carbohydrate molecules. Now, yeah, that's how we build these store huge molecules. But what are we going to do when we need that energy? We need a way to break all these down. That's where we're going right now. And what do we do when we need that stored energy? We do hydrolysis. Yes, hydrolysis. So when we have one of those large molecules like a starch or something similar, we need to break those down into its components, into its monomers. So the process that's going to help us do that is hydrolysis. In this process, what do you think we need? Yes, water. So water is going to help us to reverse the process. Water is going to attack, helped by some hydrolytic enzymes, is going to attack this area to break the bond between them. Here comes water. And after this interaction occurs, this is what is going to happen. Now you can see that this is going back to its original configuration. And that water molecule has provided this new arrangement. Hydrolysis continue, more water molecules are destined to break these apart by the help of hydrolytic enzymes. Now, by the process called hydrolysis, we will have these now glucose molecules to go and be used by the cells individually. So this is like a reverse process of what we saw before with the dehydration synthesis. At some point, we're going to need all that stored energy, and the way to use that energy is by breaking down those big molecules into smaller molecules, and that happens through hydrolysis. Well, I think that closes our carbohydrates lesson. I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you.